Hello, bonjour everybody. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for watching my video and special thanks for those who subscribe to my channel. In this video, we'll talk about Bagration German, but more about Flames of War in general and where we are going with them or where they try to go. I don't really understand, but here's the fact is the new marketing idea was to have fewer books with version 4. Everything is inside for a particular country and make it the best in a short, small area. So you don't have like version 3, 50 different books. I'll say I never played version 3, like I said so many times, but it seemed to me version 3, they had something there with so many books. Make it like in few books. It put the game not in disadvantage, but in lower quality. But I think that's what they want, a lower quality to try to attract more people by doing so. But they alienate old players that stop to play version 4, concentrate version 3, or simply put that aside thinking it doesn't worth it. And then new player coming in, try to see if it's worth their money and it is fun enough to spend money in it. And that marketing tactic, and it become there when you see Fortress Europe and the D-Day books, is they release the books and they start to release piece by piece over several months, everything inside that book. So when you think about that, it's like buying the Monopoly game in January of the year and they give you the rule book. In February, you're going to be able to buy the dice. In March, they will give you one little character to put on the board. In April, you can buy the board, and etc., etc. In June, you can get some card, and in September, October, you get the Monopoly money for the game, and then you can start to play. So who will spend months after months money on few items to play in a forecast 9 to 10 months? And that's what Flames of War are doing right now. They are playing you, the buyer, as today is Bagration German, and in a month from now you can buy one tank, and then 2 months from now you can buy the infantry, and 3 months from now you're going to be able to buy the anti-tank, and 4 months the artillery. It's fine to some extent when you think that most of those tanks are already in the market with mid-war, so you can play with the mid-war tank Tiger or Panther or Panzer IV because they already exist and they just upgrade few details. So on the battlefield in 1945, they still have tanks that date back to 1942 for the Tiger or the Panther 43. So it's all into it, so it's not that bad. You can still play them. But the problem is a new player, he cannot play because he doesn't have those things. He have to wait for example, in this Bagration German, the Panzer 470. Only available 3-4 months down the line after the game starts. The Edzer, same principle. The Oswin, they do the same. The Wirbelwind, they do the same. So they're just full of crap with that. And then when you look at the soldier, like the infantry for the German, now they have, everybody get a Panzerfaust. Bagration German, your team or a platoon of infantry, everybody get a Panzerfaust, so at least one Panzerfaust can use at a return, depending where, it's not depending where your command with the Panzerfaust is if you have a team that is close enough to use it, you can use at least once per turn. And D-Day German doesn't have that, Waffen-SS D-Day, Waffen-SS doesn't have that, and they coincide with the same day. Bagration German was June to August 1944. D-Day was June to August 1944. How come with your D-Day infantry, you don't have a Panzerfaust for everybody, but Bagration German, you have Panzerfaust for everybody? Oh, because it's 6 months down the line, they want you to spend money. That's what they are doing. So there's different way to play the game with them as well. They are poor quality soldier or attachment for your artillery. They have those big bulk soldiers, then they have smaller one, and so on. And they are quite expensive. And they have the guts to arrive in January to say, we increase the price on everything. So what's the best for you, the player? Think about that. If I'm a player, I spend my money, and I want a good return for my money. Flames of War have everything that goes with their game. It's 15 millimeter or 100, but they are not the only one who sell plastic soldier. And when you look around and you try to find plastic soldier to play the game with Flames of War, you can find other company. They are way cheaper and way better quality for your infantry, for example. For the tank, I think each other's work pretty much the same. But the next option, and personally that's what I went for, is buy your 3D printer. So you buy yourself a 3D printer and you pay $500 US or less. You have an excellent 3D printer and you can print everything that Flames of War want to bring you. So for example, this is the Ferdinand that Flames of War sell. And they said now, with Bagger and German, the Ferdinand is not really used anymore because they all have been converted to Elephant. And what's the big difference between the Elephant and the Ferdinand is the cupola on the top is different, and they'll put a self-infantry defense machine gun. So they kind of force you to buy them again to have that self-infantry machine gun. I can understand that because the Ferdinand in 1943 didn't have the machine gun, so they have to redo that, and by 1944 they have the new one, it's called Elephant with the heavy machine gun. So to have it out, it's yes and no, because if you play 1940 mid-war, then your Ferdinand will be useful, and when you arrive 1944, the Elephant would be used. But this is a 3D printer, and this is purchase. Then the same can be said about Panzer 470 from Flames of War and a Panzer 470 from a 3D printer. The big difference here, not much in both. Both you can customize them. This one, you can put some little box in it. I can put my little wooden crate. I can put a fuel tank on top of it. Those fuel jerrycan, you can add them. It's easy to find. Flames of War, when you buy their kit, there's plenty of that. So you can do the same. But the big difference is with the 3D printer is you don't have to wait 6 months before you can play the game. This year they were lucky, Flames of War, because of COVID pandemic. There was not much game going on, but now that the pandemic is something of the past and we're slowly going back to a normal life, we can play Flames of War. I cannot imagine you want to play Belgian and German right now against your friend. You would like to have an escort platoon in your formation, but it's still pre-order. Can you imagine? Still pre-order. It's been since January. We are in June, 6 months. And you can play Flames of War against your friend using escort platoon if you want to purchase them and play the game. That's why I say, for the escort platoon, take your grenadier platoon. You come with 3 grenadier team with a rifle and 3 with the MG, but most of the time you have 2 platoon. So that will give you your 6 K98 platoon. So basically, you got all your the Stu 44, or I don't remember exactly the weapon name, but the STWG or something like that, 44, but the big rifle they use now in 1944 with the escort platoon. So you don't have to spend that money, and you're gonna find out you don't need to buy it. And Flames of War, that's your own fault if people stop buying the stuff because you staggered your kit. Why should I wait 4 months, 5 months? I'll keep it there to get those air defense. We knew one of them is not used until December 1944. So you put them on sale for Bagration German, and it doesn't even exist yet. They are just prototype. But you got your verbal win, you got your HUS win here, and you print them with a 3D printer, and they will do the job. You don't have to spend $50 for them. Then the same can apply for the Soviet. They staggered the time is an IS-2 print. You can see there's a log on the side, there's those fuel can. Then you can have another one, there's log here, no fuel can on it. And on top of that, you buy 5 of them, it's $50 US for 5 IS-2 or IS-85s, is one or the other, so you cannot have both. While you can arrive, print them, then your body can be used for both. You just have to change the turret for one or the other. And you save a lot of money. When you think you buy 5 IS-2 for $50 US right now, and I can print 5 IS-2 for less than $5, just a bit less than $5 US. So there's a $45 difference. So when you buy 2 of those, 2 IS-85 kits, or you're spending $200, it costs me $20. How fast am I gonna recuperate my printer? Pretty fast. I'm gonna be back in money. And I had no problem to buy them until I start to count my money and find out how much I'm spending on them. And then Flames of War really to push me over the edge and decide to buy that 3D printer is when they decide to put that on the 6-8 month long wait to get your thing. So I got Bagration German in January, we are in June, and it's still some piece they are pre-ordered. They should be ashamed of that, and they are shooting themselves in the foot. Now when you do your own 3D printer, that will bring to, you can print your truck. Here's a radio truck for the German. Here's a truck with track from the German. You can buy them also on wheel. Here's an ambulance that I print and paint. I think that's an ambulance too, but on track. Yeah, it is an ambulance on track that they need to paint. You can also print some car that go with your decor, so you can play with it and put them around, so it become like bulletproof cover and partially hiding from behind them. So, and then you can print little things like sandbags. So your troops are behind, is the width of a medium base. So the medium base is right behind. So your infantry are in trench. You get the same for the command, and it's the same width of the command plate. So you can put them side by side, and your unit side by side, and doesn't work. It doesn't have any problem with them. You can print your own destroy marker. You can print your own smoke screen, etc. So you don't have to purchase all of them. And like I said, I didn't thought to buy the 3D printer until Flames of War decided to stagger their new vehicle, so it forced me to wait and lots of time to play against with them. The same when you look at buying a house or factory from Flames of War and the cost, then you can print your own. They are the same size of Flames of War, so 2 teams per level. They have those edges so it fit on and doesn't move. And that costs you about $5 to print versus the $28, $40, $50 you may find to purchase. Now, the future is going to be Battle of the Bulge, and some people are looking for work, especially the Allied, like the American right now, and the British. They are still playing with D-Day forces, while your opponent may arrive with Bagration German, or Bagration Soviet, and now Bagration Hungarian, etc., the ally of the German, and it would be a tremendous strong force compared to what you have. And overall, what you get in the future is Battle of the Bulge. You're gonna wait 5-6 months because that tactic is the book Battle of the Bulge. And inside there's gonna be, for the German, at least 3 new vehicles. I cannot imagine they are not there. They should be there. And that would be the Yak Panther. So I print some. I still have to paint the road wheel on them. Then you have the Yak Tiger. The road wheel are metal, so they'll need to be painted. I decided to keep them dark yellow because at the end of the war they didn't have any much paint for them, so they are dark yellow. And then the King Tiger. So they are all print, ready to play. So when Battle of the Bulge go out, I'll be able to put them on the table right away. I don't have to wait 6 months. So really, Battlefront, the idea with Fortress Europe, that is obsolete, nobody will play. D-Day, that is obsolete, no one will play, except if you play against someone who wants absolutely to play D-Day scenario, then you will have to play. And one thing that was good with Flames of War version 3 is they had books for a period of time. And if they want to stagger their force like they do, Flames of War, they should have a book with period of time. And D-Day, you bring D-Day unit, and then later on, you bring the other unit up to pace. So that means the Allied have the Pershing on the table and other vehicles that fit the period of time. Now everybody is up to date. The Soviets are all the way almost good for the end of the war. The German also, they are just missing basically those 3 vehicles because the Ostwind that appeared in December 1944 with the Battle of the Bulge, they decide to release it with Bagration German. That's their choice. But we are where we are with them. I mean, by Flames of War. They commit themselves like that, and they are just shutting down the game slowly, months after months, by staggering their sale and making available new vehicle only in the near future. So you cannot play and you have to wait. Now, if I will not be them, like I said, to conclude, Flames of War, will it be better to have like Fortress Europe with those vehicles, D-Day with those vehicles, then if they move Bagration, German and Soviet, they release them in the same time. One book, for example, with some new vehicle, put those vehicles for sale at the time they release, not 6 months later. Like I said, they were lucky. With the COVID, nobody play against each other. So some people can wait to purchase them. Some other, like me, decide, okay, that's enough. I look through it and I spend the money, bought a 3D printer and start to print my own. All those things are free to download, to print, so you don't have to pay to have them, so you can print them. And you can play right away. And that's what you want, basically. Everybody wants that. The only one who didn't care about it, I can say, is those one who play version 3 before, because they already have the King Tiger, they already have the Yak Tiger, they have the Yak Panther, they have the Elephant, they have the Yak Panther 470, so they didn't care. They already have them built because they were playing version 3. But for new players, you just make them really look at it and say, why should I play a game in 6 months from now? And at the price you ask for it. At least if you were able to build something and play right away and be kind of competitive with your adversary, maybe. But when you build something 100 points and you arrive against Bagration Soviet IS-2 and you don't have much to play against them, you will drop the game seriously. It's not fun. Everybody has a better force than me. And I have to wait to buy my tank. What a waste. It's like, oh, I buy the Monopoly game. So when will we play? I don't know, 8-10 months from now? Because the company Monopoly gonna release the money in 10 months from now. So we cannot play. I just have to buy months after months, everything bit and bit of stuff there and there. And then someone will say, you know, you can buy, that game is like Monopoly, and you got everything and you play right away. And you do the same. You go somewhere else. So Flames of War, I think you did really bad here by making books that become obsolete because you present a new force and you change the dynamic of it. And then on top of making those books like that, you put things to purchase, make them available only in the future, and determine future because you don't even know when you release them. They are not released on date you said. And 6 months later, we're still waiting for some release with the Bagation German, for example. The escort platoon still not available. Really, Flames of War, not available in pre-order. Shame on you guys. So that's my video about is it worth your money, Flames of War? And I think staggering that, the only thing that worth your money is purchase your own 3D printer. You can print everything at a fraction. When I say a fraction, it's really a fraction. IS2 5, IS2 $50 US. 5 IS2 print with my printer. It costs me in plastic less than $5 US. And then I can print other house for a cheap cost. I can print other thing for a cheap cost. I return in my money in a couple of months. It's worth my money. So thank you for watching. See you soon with my next video. Thank you. Bye-bye.